Hey everybody, it's Allie, and this is the YNR chat vlog for Sunday, November 9th, and I just wanted to start out talking about Catherine's condition. I'm concerned about her, as I'm sure that you all are too, but I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I think that we know now that something is wrong with Katherine. She is forgetting significant things. I mean, this week at the coffee house with Amber, little things. She didn't remember that Amber had already given her money to pay for the coffee, and also bigger things, such as not remembering that David Chow is actually dead and that Nikki's no longer married to him. So there is something that is wrong with her. Those are major issues. I think that she needs to get help. On the other hand, Jill came to Kay's doctor's appointment with a lawyer, okay? That is the most insensitive thing that I have seen out of Jill, and Jill is a pretty insensitive character most of the time. I mean, I think that while Jill is rightly concerned about Chancellor Industries, I mean, especially after Katherine almost sold shares to Gloria that would give away controlling interest, I understand where Jill is coming from, that she has a concern from, the company's standpoint, but Jill is approaching this entire situation way too heavy-handedly, which is exactly what Jill does with absolutely everything. If she used a little bit of sugar with Katherine, maybe it would be easier to get her to the doctor, to get her the help that she needs. At this point, it feels like Nikki and Esther are the only ones that really seem to care about Katherine's well-being. I mean, Jill is just coming off as this monster, and from my perspective, I think, hands down, Nikki has been a better daughter figure to Katherine over the years than Jill could ever even hope to be. Jill could start being a perfect angel right now and she would still never reach the level of friendship and kindness and love that Nikki has shown to Katherine. So, it's sad when Nikki starts to realize that there is something wrong with Katherine. Nikki, by the way, I don't like fur. But I loved her coat, I have to admit, this week. It was, had like a really wonderful collar, and it was like a pull tie long kind of trench. It was very, very nice. I wish it wasn't fur, but it was so beautiful. And also one other thing, Nikki, I think I would really like to see Nikki go with a shorter haircut. I don't know if I'm not a fashion person, but if you guys noticed this week, she had kind of like a side updo, and the back was long, and it doesn't look very good. I think that I wish she'd get a haircut, go with something short and classy. That would, I think, make her look a lot better. Maybe a little curl, or on maybe some bangs or something. I wasn't really liking her hair this week. I know that's mean. But also, okay, on the other hand, we've got Esther. The maid cares more about Katherine's well-being than Jill does. Esther is beside herself. She doesn't even know what to do with herself at this point. Like, I think that Katherine and Esther are like an old lesbian couple. Seriously, they totally are. Katherine makes Esther wear that French maid outfit. Come on, is that really necessary? Yeah, there's something that you're not going to hear on CBS Soaps in Depth or any of the other shows. Right here for the YNR chat vlog, you got my perspective on the truth behind the Katherine and Esther relationship. Come on, French maid. Katherine kind of likes it. Okay. That's my perspective. Okay, so let's talk about the accident. First of all, if anything happens to Katherine, I'm gonna be so upset. I know that it won't, but I will be upset. It was scary. We had Nick getting in an accident just a couple of months ago, and now Katherine. It's scary. I don't like these car wrecks. But I think that everyone will assume that Katherine was drinking and crashed the car. Sooner or later, Katherine is gonna have to come clean about, or reveal her connection to Marge. I think it's gonna have to be sooner. I'm almost thinking that maybe Marge will run away from the crash site or something and leave Katherine alone, and it's possible that Katherine will try to come clean about Marge and no one will believe her because she's been hallucinating and supposedly drinking. So it doesn't look like it's gonna be good news for Katherine coming up. So that'll be sad to see, but I am interested to see exactly how it develops. You know, one other point I wanted to make is that they're doing a really, really good job with the duplicate roles, I think, in my opinion. I mean, I'm totally buying it. Like, I have suspended my disbelief. I totally believe that there are two different people, Katherine and Marge. I think that the actress is doing a really great job from the acting standpoint, and I think from a technical standpoint, it's being done really well, too. So, kudos to Y&R on the double role. Okay, let's talk about Kevin and the money. Is he having a midlife crisis? Is this what's going on here? I mean, all of a sudden Kevin wants this money. He wants to buy this muscle car. I mean, it's like he's like an older man having this crisis. It's like he needs to prove something about himself. And this week he thinks he hit the jackpot. He found this big bag of money that Katherine left at the coffee house, and he had the little fantasy scene, which totally thoroughly enjoyed. It was like the angel and the devil on his shoulder trying to decide whether or not to actually keep the money. Which fantasy did you guys like better? We had the kind of 1950s black and white, nice Kevin, and then we had the devil having like raw sex on the money with Jana kind of fantasy. Which one did you like better? Like, what did you want to see him do? I'm curious to know, so post your thoughts. I kind of liked I'm lame, but I guess I kind of liked the 1950s, the black and white scene. I thought that was kind of funny. And plus, like, the bad scene, the sexy scene, wasn't that sexy. I mean, I just thought, I don't know, Jana's just weird, and I don't know, there was something awkward the way they were just talking about what to do with the money and trying to rationalize it, and it was a little bit weird. I would like to be able to ask Jana how Kevin is really doing in the bedroom these days, because he's a guy that wants money. He's got something to prove. Somewhere in his psyche, the bad Kevin is coming back out in him, and it's like he needs to prove something. So I'd be curious to know exactly how Kevin is doing in the sack for real, especially with these obvious insecurities. But this week, you know, I did appreciate being able to get kind of an insight on his internal struggles. Like, what exactly is the deal with Kevin? He had this heart-to-heart with Jana in the coffee house, but Kevin tried to explain it, make it sound to Jana as if he wants this money, he wants all of this more for her. He wants to get this better job at Jabot. He wants to have more money so that she can have a better life, so that she won't leave him. And I tell you what, I don't buy that for a minute. I think that Kevin wants the money for himself, and I mean, don't kid yourself. He is, after all, Gloria's son. Okay, so now speaking of Gloria, we learned this week that Gloria was threatened into giving bad information to the police about River's case. I wish that Gloria just would have been upfront with Michael in the first place, but obviously Gloria is completely incapable of telling the truth, and it just keeps getting worse. I mean, every step along the way we find out that Gloria was more and more involved in this, as she is with everything. It's a disaster. I mean, this entire issue is such a deep, deep secret. I'm really not sure how this new information is going to affect River's case. But I have to say that this week we saw some amazing performances by both the Michael and Gloria characters during their confrontation scene at Michael's apartment. Michael was so angry at learning that Gloria had done this. He was screaming, or he was foaming at the mouth. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught that, but he was like slobbering all over the place. Gloria was crying. She was like snotting, and like her eyes were swollen up. I mean, it was hideous. Gloria was hideous during that scene. just so yikes. But it was fantastic. I have to say, it was very raw, very real. I mean, they weren't pulling any punches. Those kind of emotions aren't pretty. So I really appreciated that. I thought it was a great scene. Also this week, in some news from me, I had a realization this week of River's sexiness. I'm kind of attracted to River. I'm coming out. I'm coming out about it. I've been a big fan of the actor since he came on the show, and it hit me this week that part of it is because I think he's sexy. I'm ready to see River out of the orange jumpsuit and into the bedroom. Although I have to say, I don't want to see him with Gloria. Because I like River, I don't want to see him with Gloria. I'm thinking I'd like to see him with maybe a younger woman. River and Ashley could be a really good pairing, but I'm thinking we need to get him somebody kind of young and sexy. Like, I want to bring it out of him, you know, like I can't wait to see those scenes. So anyway, alright, I'm about to my 10-minute limit for videos on YouTube, but I'm not done. I've got so much left to talk about. I mean, we haven't even talked about Paris. So this is going to be the end of part 1 of the video, but give me a couple hours. I will have a part 2 posted, so I will see you then.